whisper in a sunflower field, yeah. Warm wind blowing and birds are singing in cypress trees.
Eccoci qui, la colazione stamattina, un cornetto oppure un cornettino e un macchiato con crema dentro. Breakfast in Italy, always sweet, sempre dolce. E di solito gli italiani mangiano poco, una merendina, un caffè, basta. Invece gli americani mangiamo di più, mangiamo spesso di cibi salati, eggs, bacon, non in Italia. Torta? Per colazione? Sì, normale. I'm so fascinated by this idea of what people all around the world eat for breakfast. There's a bunch of pigeons right around me. Can I just tell you? They're like, hoping I left some cornetto. And I'm not the only one intrigued by this idea. So is my buddy Jen Penomrat. You know her from Just Eat Life. She's the best. So she and I have teamed up to do a podcast called Either Side Eaters on the Food 52 podcast network. It's out now, just launched.
Hey, I'm Jen Penomrat.
And I'm Katie Quinn. Check it out. And we have an entire episode about breakfast foods around the world. I called up Jen to ask her about her breakfast foods growing up, what she remembers living in Queens, New York, with a Thai father and a Filipino mother.
So I had a lot of Thai and Filipino breakfast dishes. So it would be things like what I have here. This is a collaboration of my father and I. We combined my mom's arroz caldo. So it's like a savory rice porridge that's flavored with a broth. So chicken or veg broth. And then it's got shredded chicken or whatever vegetables you have, ginger, garlic, so super flavorful. And then you could top it with whatever you want. I have a little egg. There's some pucker, there's some salt, there's some heat.
That looks and sounds so good, I'm salivating. Ma, vivo in Italia. Quello non è una colazione qui. So like what is breakfast here, right? Una brioche con pana, come un maritozzo. Sì, breakfast, a cream-filled brioche. Into it. Una torta. Sì, completely, a cake is completely acceptable breakfast fare here. Sì, uno di questo, grazie. Per gli americani, come me, è incredibile.
E poi salata.
Sì.
Uova.
Sì, esatto, le uova.
Salsiccia.
Sì, salsiccia. So, let's look a little closer at how to eat breakfast like an Italian, i.e. why Italians eat cake for breakfast.
Life right now is a movie. Yeah. Wish the soundtrack was groovy. Too bad I'm frustrated, I'm moody. Yeah.
Let's go over typical options for an Italian breakfast. Fette biscottate. This is like a bread that has been toasted and is hard. It's crunchy. And they're not just eaten alone. They're eaten with some marmellata on top. So even if you have something kind of savory like bread, then you will put something sweet on top of them. There are some other options too if you're not a big fan of bread or if you're going for gluten-free. I've seen these rice crackers around quite a bit. Next up, yogurt. I tend to get the plain yogurt because I don't like a super sugary yogurt. Also, I don't like all of the plastic that is used with all those little mini ones. However, I do think that that's a pretty typical breakfast here, so I did get one to show you. Fruity yogurts. Wow, that's got a lot of sugar. That's a lot of sugar right there. But hey, you know, with the plain yogurt, I like to put like some fruit on top. Fruit, by the way, is a welcome addition to the Italian breakfast table. And strawberries just got in season here. They've just hit the markets and they're so freaking flavorful. Next up, biscotti. So, you know, biscotti to Americans is a type of hard cookie. In Italian, the word biscotti literally means cookies. So all of these are biscotti. Vari tipi di biscotti. Amazing dipped in that morning coffee. Just a great little treat. Cereal. Growing up, almost all I ate for breakfast every day before I went to school was cereal, because it's so easy, it's so good, and so yeah, Italians also, especially at home and before you go to work, before you go to school, I have this maybe kind of quirky thing that I like to actually mix cereals together. Not all Americans do that. In my family, my dad and I love mixing cereals. I'm wondering, in Italy, is mixing cereals something you guys would ever do? Does that seem strange? Does that seem normal? Let me know, qui sotto. And just to clarify here, a typical Italian breakfast will probably be a cafe and one of these things. Maybe one or two, but really one of these things. We're going for leggera invece di pesante. Another typical one, as you saw at the beginning of the video, is cornetto. From what I can tell, most people will prefer to get their cornetto when they go to the bar for the cafe. You know, it's not something as much that's eaten at home, but you can get some at the grocery store. I'm gonna wrap up this Italian breakfast foods chat with the sweets that I am still like, wait, I get to eat this for breakfast, and it's completely, like, not only just acceptable, it's the norm. It's like, oh yeah. So this is like a panettone, which is what we eat for Christmas here. It's like the special Christmas cake. That's also like, this kind of baked good is completely normal for just breakfast, a daily breakfast. Tuesday, breakfast, awesome. Maybe my favorite, the chocolate cake. Chocolate cake! I love chocolate cake on like my birthday. Here again, breakfast, chocolate cake? Yes, awesome. It's really good. It's also super rich. It's like it's very chocolatey. That's good. No complaints from me. You guys, thank you for joining me. Thanks for hanging out while I ate a little bit of all these breakfast foods. Thank you to the Quirky Club, my Patreon community, for allowing me to purchase these groceries for this video. Your support goes really far. Thank you so much. You all should check out the Quirky Club. It's really fun. We do monthly live chats. I put up an exclusive recipe every month. I post behind the scenes content, early access, all kinds of fun stuff. Check it out. And don't forget to check out the podcast Either Side Eaters that I'm co-hosting with the incredible Jen Panomrat. Also, Jen moderated my book's live launch event. We had so much fun, as she and I always do. So check out that podcast, hang out with us, learn about food cultures around the world. Check out my book, Cheese, Wine, and Bread, because it is out. It is out in the world, and I am so proud of it, and I think you all will love it. Oh, did you hear what Rachel Ray said about my book?
It is a magical book discovering the magic of fermentation in England, Italy, and France. The capitals, people, of cheese, wine, and bread. I mean, this is for everyone. And Katie Quinn is the author. Brilliant, delightful. She's traveled all over Europe to find out how the best of the best become that, how they're made. It is luscious as actually enjoying the fruits of their labor. It also has a bunch of unique and beautiful recipes. It's gonna be on hand for the rest of my life.
So pick one up, and I'll see you back here really soon. So, alla prossima. In the meantime, don't forget to keep it quirky. Rimanete strambo. And yeah, ci vediamo presto. Ciao. And thank you to the musician, Anya Kotar. All of the music in this video was hers. You can check out her very catchy songs, leaving a link to the Spotify tunes in the description box below.